Hey y'all, welcome to the Healed Yet podcast, where we normalize the lifelong journey of healing and provide those with support along the way. I am your host, Majaya, a licensed social worker in Texas, and let's get right to it. Thank y'all for coming back and listening to my podcast. I do have a guest speaker today, which is Bea. Bea,
Hello.
introduce yourself. I'm so excited to have you on my show. You were my very first guest because I think you have so many great things that you could offer to my show. And also just becoming my new mentor. So I'm so excited for that as well.
Oh, likewise. I'm pretty excited about it too.
And I was so scared when I was like, I'm shooting my shot today. I've been reading my devotionals, and it's like, if you want something in life, you gotta ask for it.
Straight
So
up.
I definitely do that, and I was so honored that you are doing that with me. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Bea, I do want you to go ahead and introduce yourself first and let people know what you do.
Okay. All right. Well, hey everybody. My name is Sabella. Many people know me as Bea Beat Messenger. I am an executive producer of music and film and a songwriter. I'm also a licensed clinical social worker and mind surgeon. Right now, I own two companies. The first being Symphony Music Group, which is a production company. And right now, I am offering executive production services for music production and visual production for independent artists. Covert Beauty is a wellness accountability community for today's entrepreneur. We have all kinds of really cool resources in helping entrepreneurs identify internal barriers that are keeping them from tapping into their purpose.
That's great. And that really intrigued me because I'm like, look how the way that you're using that to, help with healing. I think it's great. It's something I've never seen before. So I know that took some time and definitely involved God to even pull something out like that. So that's real nice.
Absolutely.
Real nice. Okay, so on this episode, it's called Healing While Being a Healer. I picked this episode topic because I don't think people understand that as a healer, we go through a lot of things and still have to show up for other people.
Whew. Tell me about
Whether
it.
we like it or not, this is our job. This is just more than just for a social worker or counselor. I'm talking about a nurse, doctors, or anyone in a field where you have to service someone else or heal someone else or be a part of their healing journey. It's tough because that's a big, I guess, like a big position to fill, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think it's great as for you being an LCSW going on, soon to probably have your own private practice.
Yes, ma'am.
And being an entrepreneur, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, most definitely. It can be a lot to juggle, I'll tell you that.
Yes. So my first question always is going to be for every guest to start is, what does healing look like for you?
For me, I've been able to identify healing presenting in the form of new instincts. I'll find myself, just being on the ball and immediately responding to things in ways that I didn't realize I was even mature enough to handle. I would also say, for me, healing appears as I see an increase in my self-value and my self-worth.
Oh, yes.
So I'm often feeling less remorseful about boundaries that I have to set, both professional and personal, just because I'm just valuing my self-worth and my peace of mind a lot more. Also, I would say a change in perspective or a renewed mind towards certain things, especially things that I've had like emotional like baggage with, certain issues and things like that kind of roll off my back. And, I've already taken what I needed from those experiences to move forward. And, the extra stuff is just gone. It's not, those situations or issues aren't nearly as heavy to me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would say, lastly, healing for me, like I can tell that I'm healing based off of a lot of the reflections and comments or feedback that I get from my support
Yes.
system. You know what I mean? Because they'll be quick to
Yes.
be like, "Are you okay?"
Are you?
Because a couple months ago, Bea would have
Yep.
slapped her in the face or something.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know what I
Those
mean?
people that
So
you
those,
love and that's close to you, they can identify when something is
yes,
changing. Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So I guess healing, as a healer, I
Hmm.
want to know what is the gift of being a healer. We know what you identify as healing, what it looks like to you, but being able to be a part of healing someone else, what
Hmm.
is the gift of that?
Well, I love this question. Just because my relationship with healing is pretty intimate. You know what I mean? Especially in the human helping service industry. Um, but anyway, I would say that my journey in healing has taught me that there's a difference between having the gift of healing and having the purpose to heal. And I would say that for me personally, healing is my purpose. It's not just something that I'm good at, or, something I've been able to identify as a talent. It's a huge
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. Um, and
Yes.
basically, it requires you to have a good balance of being
Yes.
selfish and selfless.
That is
You are
that's the
going
one.
to be serving, huh?
I said that is a perfect example. 'Cause
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that balance, because I mean, when it comes to healing, um it is a service in my experience. So I'm pretty much rewarded on the back end through my creator, who I identify as God, with my blessings. But a lot of the times I do find myself having to be the bigger person, and you know what I mean, just do things in response to certain situations that won't necessarily be appealing to my ego or my
yes.
representation, or just me getting anything out of it, a return in my investment of my time and my energy. Those things are given freely at God's expense, however he sees fit. So it really is about helping people shine, helping people pull themselves out of things in a
Yes.
way where they don't even recognize how impactful your role is. And you do it in a way to where they get to take the credit for whatever they accomplished. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, God gets the glory. That is what
Mm-hmm.
I would say the gift of and the purpose of healing would look like.
Yes, I love that so much. And you made some really good examples, especially learning how to be selfish and selfless.
Ooh.
And with that selfless part, that's that part where sometimes you have to let that person have the credit. This is their healing journey. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we provided them the tools and the resources, but we're going to one, let them have control of the decisions they make in this journey, and also let them have the credit. They did the
Mm-hmm.
work.
Mm-hmm.
We were just a guide or a partner in this, but they chose to take this route. So
Absolutely.
you really made some good points there. I
Thank you.
would no problem. I would want to know what is some advice that you would give to someone on their healing journey, because we all know that healing, even to get started with healing, takes a lot. To
Mm-hmm.
even say, you know what, today I'm choosing to start this new habit or
Mm-hmm.
start this new journey for myself, that takes a lot. So for me, I want people to know that even taking that first step to say, you know what, I'm today is the last day I'm doing this. I'm starting on this journey for me. For somebody on that very first day, what advice would you give to them?
Well, the first thing I would say is healing is a journey that has no destination.
Mm,
It's going to be something that you will be committed to and you will be doing forever. So that's first and foremost. So that's the first thing I would say. Second thing I would say is healing is a very complex, beautiful, chaotic, traumatizing, exciting journey. And I would say that you are most definitely, I would recommend rather that if you're starting your healing journey fresh, you want to consult with your higher power. You really want to make sure you consult with your higher power and that you have some form of emotional and mental support during the process, because
Mm-hmm.
it's going to cause for you to learn your own power and how to heal yourself. And I would say that without the support, emotional and mental support and spiritual support through your higher power, it could be very, very confusing as to what you should be focused on. If you're trying to heal based off of expectations and societal norms, it's very, very, possible that you can be directing your focus and energy on a part of you that God made absolutely perfect and doesn't want you to
Right.
change right now. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I would say that you have to be in a position spiritually, emotionally, and mentally prepared to deal with
Mm-hmm.
whatever comes your way, right?
Right.
And making
That's
sure,
true.
yeah, you have a strong support system and when doing so. And if you don't have any personal friends or family that can do that or be that for you, I totally recommend therapy.
Yes. Yes. This is good. This is good because I like you. I like them to know that healing is not pretty.
Oh
It's
no.
ugly in the especially in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You have to really have faith that everything that I'm feeling and going through it will be a testimony for me. It will be something that I can use to help the next person.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, them hard times is what lets you know that change is coming. That was something I had to remember in my healing journey. That when you're
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable, that's the feeling you want. That uncomfortable feeling is the feeling you want because it's going to put you in places or in situations that feel uncomfortable, but it forces you to change.
Mm-hmm.
It forces you to get out that comfort zone.
Yes, it
So
does.
that's something good to know in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's no growth in being comfortable. If
No,
you're
no,
comfortable, then you probably ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing.
no. Exactly. If you feel comfortable, something ain't right. Something not
Yeah,
right.
just
And I,
get comfortable with being
mm-hmm,
uncomfortable. That's the best advice I can give.
exactly. Because like they say, if you comfortable, that means you don't need God. You get too comfortable and you're not asking him for anything because
Hmm.
you're comfortable,
Hmm.
and that's a concern. So on my podcast, I do like to have transparency, of course,
Hmm.
ethical. Just without ethics, we can't give much self disclosure, but I do want you to talk about a time when you had to manage going through your own life issues, like while
Hmm.
being a healer for someone else. And I know
Hmm.
you experienced just going through something in your life and still having to put that smile on and show up for your patients, your clients, like
Yeah.
nothing was going on.
Yeah. No, seriously. I think I would like to use this opportunity just to highlight my marriage. I think that even with me being a human service provider and professional, I have a healing obligation even to my marriage and my husband as well. And
Yes.
we've been together. Me and my husband got married back in 2018. Um,
Hmm.
we both have grown in Christ together, and it's been a beautiful process. But a lot of my experience with healing has been my husband and I healing each other.
Love
And
it.
yes, and I will say that, like, as far as like managing like my own life issues while being a healer to someone else, my husband, I have a spiritual obligation to stay healthy to make sure that I can support him, you know what I'm saying, and do
Hmm.
my due diligence as a wife, and as his the Pippin to his Jordan, you know what I'm saying. So um I
Love it.
have an ongoing maintenance package
Yeah.
on my healing, because that is actually what motivates me. And of course,
Mhm.
that spills over into my job, that spills over into my businesses, and that spills over into my friendships and, business relationships. But um, I will say that the most important relationship in my life is my marriage. And that is one that
Mhm.
has constant access to all of the healing properties that I'm made up of. So yeah, that is an ongoing thing. And like I said, I found that I'm the best wife or best version of myself
Yes.
um, when my marriage is good.
Yes. So that's
So
a good. I
yeah.
like how you use this in a different way, in a different sense, because it's not always in your work, in your field of work where you have to be a healer. So I like how you changed it, because we have a lot of married people out there who
Mhm,
need probably to know that it is an obligation
mhm.
to be there for your spouse.
Yeah, for
So
sure. And I
especially when
mean,
you still
that's
going
how
through
I
things.
view it. Like I said, I
Yeah.
do believe strongly that I'm sorry, that there are people in the world that are called to use a gift of healing.
Yeah.
And there are people in this world that are called to have and walk in the purpose of healing. I think that I am walking in my purpose as a healer is bigger than a gift for me.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. One day for me, girl. One day. But I love that you say you all heal together. Do you heal this a lot? Oh, you're not, you can't find no one until you're healed. You need to heal yourself before you try to get what in a relationship or get into a
Mhm.
marriage. Me
Yeah,
too.
I do hear that a lot. And I agree with that to a certain extent. I most
Mhm.
definitely agree with that. I think that before bringing someone else into your space, you should treat your spiritual health, your emotional health the same way you would do your house. You're not gonna have nobody coming over to hook up with you and you got dirty drawers in the living room, dishes in the sink. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that yeah, you should be able to be in a space to where you have already learned the power in healing yourself. um I do. So when people say, yeah, you should heal before you get into a relationship, I'm not saying
Mhm.
that you're not going to be 100% healed.
100%.
You know what
No.
I'm saying?
No.
And I think that that is what is so amazing. One of the most amazing things I would say about God's brilliant idea of marriage and companionship. Like, yeah, the person that you're supposed to be with is going to be healing you in ways and vice
Yes.
versa. But I do think that everybody should do their due diligence in making sure that what they can do on their own at that
Mhm.
given moment is taken care of before they welcome someone else into their space. Because
Yes.
hurt people. And if you're
Yes.
not healing, you hurting.
You heard. Ooh, girl. Okay.
That's a
Okay.
bar.
We can talk forever, but especially on that topic. But it's true, and I feel that healing, that inner work before, does help you be able to identify. You're going to have triggers from previous
Yeah.
things that pop up in marriage. So I feel that that healing on your behalf is being able to identify that I'm triggered by this. Let me
Hmm.
be able to have this conversation with my spouse to talk about
Hmm.
what I'm triggered about, and to let them know, I am still healing. Some things you might think you are recovered from, that you're probably not.
Hmm.
So I love
Absolutely.
that. I really like the way that you use that.
Well, thank you.
So the next question, as a that I have for you as a professional, is, as a friend, as a wife, anything. I mean, you are a professional, so I feel like we do have those instincts. A mental health professional, I should say, we do have those instincts of being able to identify when something is in need of healing.
Hmm.
So the question is, how do you know when something is in need of healing at a spiritual, mental, emotional, or even at a physical level? How do your instincts come up? We all are different, but
Hmm.
how do you identify that?
Well, I would say for me, um, I've been I've been doing this a while. So I'm always trusting my spirit.
Mhm.
Now there are some battles that I'm called to that are distracting to what it is that I'm trying to do. And then there are some battles that I have an obligation to serve and heal. But it always almost starts off with how it affects my spirit and whether or not I'm triggered or something.
Mhm.
I would say that as a healer, um, the one indicator that, I mean, you're going to be confronted with the person's pain, right? So always
Mhm.
you're gonna be in a situation you recognize that the system is broken or there's a part of this person that's broken that you can identify with and help with. From there, honestly, I just let God, regulate how much healing I give. You know what I'm saying? Like, if am I tapping into my purpose of healing or am I tapping into my gift of healing? And God regulates that for me.
Yes.
But I think that what's huge in this aspect is me being able to understand internally whether or not this situation is a distraction or if it's an assignment. And that really has a lot to
Mm.
do with how I'm feeling about how I feel when I do encounter the pain in the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, what would my involvement? Is it what are my intentions behind it? Is this something that's ego driven? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Or is this something where I'm triggered and I want to overcommit? You know what I'm saying? Is this an
Yeah.
emotional response? So it really is me just checking in with myself. And 9 times out of 10, the whatever is the easiest thing to do at that moment and make it and that would make the situation as least distracting as possible is what I'm supposed to do.
Mm. Okay. Okay. I like that. So I do my last and final question for you. It's actually two in one.
Okay.
Is how do you use your gift of healing in the populations you work in?
Hmm.
And also, how did you know that that was your passion? I know that's two questions. Let me know if you need me to repeat it.
Well, I have many passions. And I would say that the only way that I've realized that they
Mhm.
are my passions and I'm supposed to direct my focus and energy to them is because they never go away. They're always in my face.
Man,
Yes, especially when it comes to music and helping people create and giving advice.
yes.
And you know what I'm saying? Like even myself as a creator, um, I don't know. I don't even think I've ever created anything where music wasn't involved, and I'm not doing that now. So yeah, and then the same thing with helping people, empowering people, coaching people. Um, I mean, people can come to me in their most broken form, and I am the person that can find the silver lining. I can take the smallest, the smallest pro, and really pull from that and recognize what motivates people in a very short period of time. So, yeah, these are all things that just come natural to me. They come natural to me. And the way that I serve is a lot like what I had just explained. And understanding who's a distraction and who is an assignment. You know what I mean? And just always making sure that I'm taking care of myself spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, having my support system so that I can continue to serve and let God use me to regulate how
Right.
much of my gift each person or each situation has access to.
Yes. Whew. Girl, you are preaching, okay? I'm gonna go back and listen to this myself a couple times.
Me too.
But I mean, it's true. I guess that's how I feel about my passion too, about knowing that this is what God wants. He will constantly throw it in your face. I mean, I could be taking a bath, listening to music. I'm hearing topics in my head. Or I'm hearing,
Mhm.
I want this person to that you need to reach out to this person. You have to act on those. God, I feel like God kind of gets frustrated with us when He's giving us all these things and we just sitting with it. Like I need
Mm.
you to do this. Stop being scared. I got you. If I'm
Yeah.
giving this to you, I'm gonna make sure you deliver it in a way that it needs to be delivered.
Amen.
So I just need you to start it. I need you to start. I need you to do the footwork. I'm gonna provide you with everything else.
Yeah.
So that's what I had to understand, especially with starting this podcast. This has been over a year to 2 years of me going back and forth with this.
Yeah.
So you made some real good points about something that I needed myself. So I do want you to spend like this last moment of giving. I'm also going to list her contact information in the section where I have all my information, but I also want you to go ahead and just give out your Instagrams and ways that people can reach out to you, all your handles that you use.
Yes, thank you so much. So, like I said, I go by Bea Beat Messenger. You can find me on Instagram. Bea is spelled Bella underscore Beat Messenger. You can find me on Instagram. Also, please make sure you check out my production company, Symphony Music Group. Symphony is spelled with an I at the end. We are on Instagram, and you can check us out at www.symphonymusicgroup.com. You can also find more information about the wellness accountability community for the entrepreneurs that I was talking about earlier. Right now, we're congregating on Instagram at Covert Beauties or Covert Beauty Men as well. Okay. We got some really cool things going on coming up in the wellness accountability community. We are going to be talking about self-love and entrepreneurship soon. So make sure you guys follow us so that you're kept abreast of all of the topics that we are going to be discussing that could help you identify internal barriers that are getting in your way from getting this money.
Okay, too. All right. I really do appreciate you taking time out your busy schedule to be here with me and just delivering the mental health and many other things you delivered, things that I didn't even know. God really took hold of this episode. Like he put it in the way that it was supposed to be in. So I
Yes.
really thank you for that. So in this moment, I always end my episodes with a couple affirmations for my my listeners. And I usually have a little homework, but not on this episode. I'm gonna leave y'all alone with the homework, okay? But I am gonna give y'all some affirmations. So I want you to know that you are resilient, even even if you feel like you're having your toughest time. You get another day. Every day you get is another day to start over. So that's called resilient.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know that you are strong. So strong and resilience go hand in hand for me.
Mm.
And here are the affirmations. I'm allowing God to be the driver of my life. I will ask for help in my time of need. I am not alone on this journey.
Mm.
Even if I am physically, spiritually, I'm never alone.
Yeah.
I'm full of love, peace, happiness, but most importantly, faith. And lastly, my current situation will be my future testimony.
Yes.
I once again thank you so much, Bea, for being here with us and just spreading all this good knowledge and advice and expertise.
And
And I
thank you
hope that in
too.
no problem. I hope that in the future I can have you back on here.
Most definitely. I'd love to come back. I think
Yes,
that what you're doing is great. I'm happy to
thank you.
most definitely support you and share this valuable podcast and resource with my people as well. So yeah, man, hats off to you. I'm super excited about what you and God have going on, and keep shining, girl.
Thank you so much. And go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you for listening to the Hill Yet podcast. I do want to ask if y'all can go ahead and follow me on all platforms at Hill Yet Podcast. I really, really thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you come back for the next episode. Bye.